Shortly after Philip II ascended the throne of Macedonia, the Macedonian conquest of Greece began. Although Macedonia was a poor and semi-civilized country when Philip took office in 359 BC, under his brilliant leadership it became the best trained and equipped fighting force in the ancient world. Already in his youth, as a hostage at the court of Epaminondas during the Theban hegemony, he received the military and diplomatic training that enabled him to make Macedonia the leading power of the region in just one generation. Immediately after his seizure of power, Philip II began his conquests in Thrace. Between 357 and 355 BC, Athens experienced a series of rebellions by its Aegean colonies known as the Athenian Wars. Macedon intervened in these conflicts on behalf of the rebelling colonies and secured control of Amphipolis.
You know, with a good woman, today could be fun. The ancestors are unquiet. We will die here.
A little later, the Holy War broke out in Phocis, which Philip used to gain a foothold in Thessaly. Over the next 10 years, Philip consolidated his power in Macedonia and the Balkan Peninsula. At the same time, he interfered in Greek politics and formed alliances with various factions within the Greek cities. Despite strong opposition from Demosthenes in Athens, who strongly opposed Philip's conquests, Philip remained successful. By 338 BC, Philip had so much territory in northern Greece and the Aegean under his control that Thebes and Athens joined forces to resist him at the Battle of Chaeronea. Unfortunately, the Macedonian victory spelled the end of independence for most of mainland Greece outside the Peloponnesian Peninsula. In August 338 BC, the Battle of Chaeronea marked a turning point when the alliance of Athens and Thebes lost to the emerging Macedonia, ushering in the Macedonian Empire's dominance over Greece.
Eyes front! No flinching! Show them how noble Greeks behave! You! Dirty armor, and is that rust? You dare spoil my unit! Eyes front! No flinching!
King Philip II led the Macedonian army, which numbered about 30,000 men, while his son Alexander commanded the cavalry on the left flank. The Greek alliance, largely formed through the efforts of Demosthenes, also included a total of around 30,000 soldiers. Most notably, 10,000 inexperienced Athenian hoplites on the left flank, allies and mercenaries in the center, and the Theban troops, including the famous Holy Band of 300 elite soldiers on the right flank. The return of the Heraclides. In the chaos of the Greek War, Macedon under King Philip II fields a huge military force and competes for supremacy in Greece.
Enemy sighted, sir!
Only a few years earlier, the Macedonian military system was fundamentally reformed. Philip was now leading the way. He knew that wars cannot be won with short spears. One of the most fundamental changes in Macedonia's military reform is the sarissa. The hoplites before used a spear that was 2 to 3 meters long. Now longer spears were handed out. 5 meters long, the phalanx was revolutionized. The Macedonian force of 30,000 men was divided into the phalanx in the center. On the right stood the Macedonian King Philip. On the left stood Alexander and his faithful companions. The flanks had the task of accompanying the phalanx. The Macedonian phalanx rolled unstoppably towards the enemy ranks. King Philip held the right flank while Alexander attacked on the left flank. The Macedonian phalanx is relentless. Numerous Greek heroes try it and fail. During the battle, the Athenians and their allies fell into disarray, while the Macedonian phalanx retreated in apparent order. The Thebans held their position, but a gap appeared in the Greek formation, which was exploited by Alexander and his cavalry. Then the feared Macedonian phalanx advanced. Some parts of the Greek army were able to retreat, but the Theban sacred band fought bravely until only 46 men remained. About 2,000 Greeks, including Demosthenes, who tried in vain to escape, were taken prisoner. The Macedonians suffered comparatively few losses. This victory marked Alexander's first major triumph, although he was not particularly distinguished by his father Philip. The defeated Greeks were treated comparatively mildly. Athens was allowed to retain its democratic constitution until the Macedonians insisted on the abolition of democracy after their defeat in the Lamic War in 322 BC. However, Thebes was taken over by a Macedonian garrison and eventually destroyed by Alexander's troops in the fall of 335 BC, believing after the murder of Philip that it could still defeat the Macedonians. While ancient Greece was at the height of its fame and influence between the wars in Persia and the Peloponnese, Macedonia was a reclusive, remote kingdom in Thrace. During the Persian War, the Macedonians had submitted to the Persians, and the country produced no first-rate scholars, generals, or leaders. Then, under the reign of Philip II, Macedonia suddenly rose to great prominence, and within a generation it became the ruler of Greece. However, the Macedonian conquest of Greece was not a purely military victory. Philip II gained much more control through clever alliances, patronage, and bribery than through direct war. In almost every city in Greece there was a pro-Macedonian party that worked for Philip II long before the decisive Battle of Chaeronea. Demosthenes objected precisely to this corruption of Greek politics through Philip's interference. Once Greece was under Macedonian control, the Greeks who cooperated with the Macedonian regime were rewarded. Philip II had respect for Greek culture and history and treated his Greek followers well. At no time during the first conquest of Greece were the rebellions after the death of Philip II, or after the death of Alexander, a rebellion of a united Greece against Macedon. Macedonia's supporters, spies, and clients made it impossible for Greece to regain its independence.
Stand easy. Stand easy.